Hi guys, and welcome back into the kitchen. Another Halloween bonfire night recipe for you guys. And I thought we'd just look at a classic apple pie. Because we haven't made a lot of pies, so we're going to use the recipe out of the Creative Cooking with Low Protein. If you don't have your copy of this folder yet, next time you speak to your dietitian, you can ask for one. In there, you'll see all the recipe cards, and we're going to do the short crust pastry. So, depending on how big your pie dish is or your pie plate, you might need to double this recipe. So I've doubled this recipe. So I've used 400 grams of the low profile mix, and then I've used 100 grams of cold butter, and then 100 grams of hard white cooking fat, which you find in the fridge where the butter and everything is. It's got 2 teaspoons of egg replacement and then just some cold water, just so you bring it together as a dough. Now, the important thing with all pastry is because it's got fat in there and we've rubbed the fat into the low profile mix, we need to get that back into the fridge and you need to chill that down. That means it's easier to roll. And I rolled this out and that's just come out of the fridge now. So you can roll it between 2 pieces of greaseproof paper, but you can just put some more low profile mix on the table and roll away. This is my pie dish, so it's a deep pie dish. Again, you can use a pie plate, you can use individual ones. So the quantities are slightly different because it's all down to the size of your pie dish you use. So like I said, I've done double the recipe, 2/3 on the bottom and then 1/3 on the top. Let's talk our apples. So because my dish is quite deep, I need then quite a lot of apples. So I've used 4 cooking apples and I've used 4 eating apples. The cooking apples will puree down as they cook, but the eating apples will stay with some bite and shape, so you kind of get some structure to this. I've peeled it, I've cored it, and then I've sliced them. Yesterday in this bowl, I then added 4 tablespoons of light brown sugar and then half teaspoon of cinnamon, and I left them just sit overnight so they can soak up all that flavour. This just softens the eating apples, so when you cook it, it just makes it slightly better, not as hard and as crunchy. So into that mixture, I then need to add some corn flour. And what the corn flour does is it just thickens up any juices that are in there. So for this quantity, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons. If you're only doing half, just put 1 teaspoon in. So that goes in, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir and coat all the apples with the corn flour. Again, that will just thicken up all them juices when we baked it. So when you slice the pie, it will slice really nicely. So let's then pop all of them in this dish. Again, you can add more. You can do different fruits. So you can add some peaches, you can do some rhubarb, you can do some gooseberries. You can do whatever you want for a fruit pie. Strawberry pie is nice. So is blueberry. Again, you can just do a mixture of everything that you have got. That's our pie filled. This is just some of the juice that I took off because we're leaving it overnight. You do tend to get quite a lot, so you don't want to add a lot in there. So I'm just going to use this just to brush the edge and give us a nice surface so we can attach the top. And then pop on the top, and then just with a crimp, I'm just going to go around and push the 2 pastries together. So I mean all the juices won't run out of the pie. Again, you'll have a little bit more time. And then if you want to crimp, we're going to put our thumb and our forefinger on the pastry, and then with our other forefinger, we're just going to press 2 pastries together. This, again, helps seal that pastry. It also makes the pie look quite pretty, and that's what we want from a pie. Again, this is great if you want to come in after you've been to see a firework display or you've been out trick-or-treating. There's no exchanges in this pie, so you can use it as dessert. It freezes really well. You can freeze it at this stage and then bake it again. So again, I'm just brushing some of the apple and sugar juices over the top of the pie. And then just with some demerara sugar, just to sprinkle on top, just to add a little bit of crunch. And we know it doesn't tend to brown as well when we do a low protein pastry. So by just adding a touch of sugar on top, you're going to get that nice crunchy bite and a nice colour to it. And then all we need to do is just with a little knife, if I can find one, just put some air vents in the top, just to allow that steam to come out. I'm going to do 4 because that's quite 180 degrees, and that'll take about 45, maybe 50 minutes. Mine, again, is slightly bigger, so depending on the size, if you're only going to do individual ones, they might only take 20, 25 minutes. Let's pop that in the oven, and then I can show you what it looks like when it's out and baked. Hi guys, so the apple pie has been baked. It's cooled, and I've just taken a huge big slice out. It's great, this recipe, because we've recapped on the pastry, but I've used apples in this recipe, but you can use cherries, rhubarb, gooseberries, peaches, a mixture of fruit. You can do all summer berries, which are kind of mastered apple pie. You can make this recipe whatever you want to do. As always, all the recipes are on Nutritious website, so if you log on there, you can find more recipes and more dessert recipes. If not, enjoy this apple pie, because I'm going to dive straight in, because it's my favourite. See you in the kitchen next time. See you later, guys. Bye.